Whether it's the rock, aroma of carpets of rooibos and buchu, the dramatic landscape or epic night skies, few places invigorate quite like this country they call the CEDEBERG, and explorer Jared Ruttenberg will make any excuse to visit.
Our journey through the CEDEBERG continues, and we've traversed the spine of the mountains right up to the north. And I'm particularly excited because this is known as Flower Region, and of course we're hoping to see some of those wildflowers.
You'll wake up surrounded by them if you're booked into the Canvas Collective for the night. That's because owners Sam Stern and Des Lundy have designed their luxury camping model to follow the seasons, pitching their tents wherever nature is putting on her best show.
Sam and Des, tell me a little bit about the Canvas Collective and what you've created here.
We pop up in various destinations and you get to experience nature firsthand, but with luxury. Des and I met at a charity, and he was in procurement and I was working with the MPOs. So we decided, how can we really affect people's lives? And that was creating something that he's really good at, which is mobile tent camping, and I've got an events background. And we thought, let's marry the two concepts together, and we decided, let's move and migrate and follow the seasons.
So guests can experience the flowers at Bedou Valley. The next one is in Tulbagh. The next one is a secret location. We custom design the tents, and we offer a glass shower in the tent, electric blankets. It also blocks out the sun. The mosquito nets were handmade. The lights in the bathroom was done by the Blind Society. We really just try and enrich people wherever we go.
We pitch the tents up just before the flower season starts so that you literally are immersed in the flowers as they're growing. Food is our passion, and obviously having a kitchen next door to your 5-star tented camp is obvious, and that's also still 100% mobile and follows the rest of the camp. And we do breakfast in bed. Our chef is very interactive as well, and our whole ethos is our home is your home. So if you want to come to the back of the kitchen and fry your own egg the way you want it, you're more than welcome to do that.
Tell me about the various different activities that are on offer.
For this location specifically, we have bread making classes, stargazing, frolicking with the horses. We've got hiking amongst the flowers. Yeah, once again, just experiencing nature at its core, but in luxury.
One of the best ways to explore an area is always by foot, and luckily for me, one of the activities here is a guided walk, so it's time to head out and explore.
Of all the places where he could be general manager, Mzamo Vundle is certain that no office in the world beats this one.
We're in the CEDEBERG region. Specifically, we are in the Bedou Valley. We're surrounded by 500 million year old mountains. And first settlers that were here, hunter-gatherers, were the San, and some of their rock art still remains here. In fact, this region that we're in has the most rock art left by the San in the entire world. I love the CEDEBERG because it's remote, peaceful. I mean, just the energy of positivity radiates from just the ground, and you cannot but help feel at peace and content when you're in this area.
Mzamo introduced us to a fellow lover of the Berg, Cecilia Cirilla, doing her PhD in freshwater conservation biology on site.
We're standing at the Enjo Nature Dam in the Bedou River Valley, which is a really, really unique area because this river is actually one of the only tributaries where Clan William sandfish are still migrating to spawn every year. And the sandfish, they spend most of the year in the During River, which is the larger river that the Bedou flows into. And at the end of every winter, they come up these tributaries, like the Bedou. They spawn here, and a couple weeks later, they head back down to the During, and they leave behind hundreds of thousands of eggs. The sandfish is the biggest herbivorous fish in the system. So it can go to about 1/2 meter in length, and it uses its downturned mouth to graze algae off of rocks. So it does this cleaning function in the system, and no other fish does this. So by protecting the sandfish, we protect all of the other species that also use its habitat, and that's what we call an umbrella species. So by focusing a conservation project on an umbrella species, you're actually able to protect everything underneath it.
Whilst treading lightly on the earth, the visiting camp brings its own natural treasures in the form of Sam Stone's renowned challah bread, a staple of her menus.
You start rolling your braids and you create the whole octopus layer, and once you get into a rhythm, it's really just tucking underneath, taking it to the other side, tucking it underneath and taking it to the other side.
Or in Jared's case, you challah what you must.
So we've finished making our challahs. Now Sam did a very complicated one. I opted to do something a little bit more simple, but I think it's come out semi-decently.
Yeah, we'll taste it and see the evidence, but
Perfect.
until then, well done.
The point in this style of camping is the luxury, not spending the evening preparing baked beans in a mess tin over a primer stove. So instead of roughing it, Jared surrendered to a gourmet dinner, followed by s'mores around the fire.
It's been a rather exciting introduction to the northern part of the CEDEBERG, which is indeed a mountainous playground. And here at the Canvas Collective, I've been reminded of the incredible innovation that exists inside the South African hospitality industry.
With a new day came the discovery of another successful initiative by local farmers who have come together to protect their botanical treasures, through which farm manager Gideon Besson offers floral tours like no other.
So we are standing in a UNESCO heritage site, and which makes it so unique is the fauna and flora, specifically our proteas and the fynbos that we have in this area. So this is one of the protea bushes, the sugar bush, one of the just over 300 species of the protea in the CEDEBERG area. And it is part of the Cape Floristic Kingdom. It is the smallest of the flowering kingdoms, and yet it has the highest concentration of species.
Among those prized for its widely reported health properties as an anti-inflammatory for the treatment of rheumatism and relief of pain is buchu tea, and here they offer quite unique tea tasting.
Brilliant. It's wild, but it's delicate, it's soft, and the closest taste to buchu that I can describe is blackcurrant. Beautiful. Well, cheers to us and cheers to you, nature.
Just 2 hours outside Cape Town, the area is a magnet for hikers or berg watchers, and Dwayne Miller of CEDEBERG Park Kromrivier has something for everyone.
We've got several accommodation types, starting off at our campsites. Each of the campsites have got their own private ablution block, creating that comfortability factor for campers. We've got 10 luxury chalets, each one named after the peaks in the valley here, and that's where you'll be staying.
If you like it warm, then it doesn't get hotter here than in February and March. But for those cold snaps and all through winter, a wood-burning stove is heavenly.
Dwayne, you worked all over South Africa. What makes this location so unique for you?
Well, listen, Jared, it's the CEDEBERG I really love. It's some place I can really call home. It's isolated, and you just get away from the busy hustle and bustle that you do get in the city, and it's a location I love.
What a perfect way to wind down after a full day's activities. In a couple of moments, this will be the scene for a delicious braai with local lamb.
Come this time in summer, the wood is perfectly dry, and you'll be braaiing in next to no time, which is just as well, because it's about this hour that the main feature starts.
After a rewarding day of exploring and a great meal, there's one thing left to do. Of course, you can't come to the CEDEBERG without appreciating the stars. So it's time to head outside and see what's happening in the night sky. Whoa, it's flipping cool.
We're off to Saturn.
Wait, where am I looking?
You look right in there.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, is that for real?
We were going to paint it on the lens for you, but no, it is the real deal.
This is spellbinding.
When people come around full circle and they have some sense on a gut level of the magnitude of this, and then you look up at the sky and things take on a different meaning. It provides a context for our lives that is deeply emotional, and you bring it home with you in your day-to-day. Now, what we see in this clip is just simply another night at CEDEBERG Observatory, where the sun goes down and the stars come out and the heavens reveal themselves.
Well, thank you for sharing this, Carl, and certainly after a full day's activities, I can't think of a better thing to do than return back, pull up a deck chair and sit and marvel at the glory of the heavens above.
If you are in need of reinvigoration of the body, soul, or imagination, there can be few better places to find it on Earth or across our solar system. The CEDEBERG is where it's at.